teaching your parents. August 6, 2013. Dear friends, I am Jeshua. I am here with you. I am not visible to your physical eyes, because I come to you from an inner space, directly from the heart. Feel my presence. I salute you all, individually. Feel my energy move around this room. Feel my embrace as I receive yours. We are friends, we are like roots of the same tree. It is our common goal to deeply root into this earth in order to create a beautiful and strong tree that will provide shelter and shade for others. I celebrate this day with you, and doing so fills my heart with joy. We are family, a spiritual family that transcends the ages, and that does not depend on time and space. You can always tap into our common source, our common roots, when you need to do so, because I know and see that life on earth can be lonely for you. But I see your courage too, and I deeply love you for it. I am here as a friend and a brother, not as a teacher. I no longer want to be that teacher, because it is now time for you to stand up and be a teacher for yourself. This is your mission in this lifetime. I know this mission sometimes brings you pain and loneliness, but when you accomplish it, when you become a teacher in this new era, it will give you a deep fulfillment and truly make your journey on earth complete. You will become like a big tree yourself, rooted into the earth and reaching up to heaven. You will notice in this image of the tree that you are standing alone. Because you are such a big tree, you need quite a lot of space. This is something you have to learn and accept in this lifetime, that you are here on earth to help bring in a new energy, and because of that, you will often march out of step with society. You are creating new pathways, so you need to create space for your own tree to grow. And you all will meet with friction and resistance in accomplishing your missions. Let us go back to your childhood. Feel again the beauty and the purity of your soul entering this lifetime. Your soul merged with a new body. It took a leap into the dark and the unknown. You have to realize that your soul is not a perfect and finished being. With every leap into a new lifetime it takes risks. Your soul is an open and dynamic reality. It wants to explore new territory in each lifetime. And the birth of every new child is that miracle manifesting itself. When we speak in broader terms, a child always brings in a new energy for humanity. It is not just that the individual soul wants to explore new territory, the soul also wants to bring its unique energy to human society. But because every child holds something new within itself, it will not be completely understood by its parents or family. Instinctively, the parents will try to make the child adapt to their own worldview. To become a parent often gives you a sense of responsibility, mixed with fear and worry. When people have children, their own psychological survival mechanisms often come to the surface. In a sense, their darkest parts, by which I mean their most unconscious parts, come to the surface as they raise their children. They unconsciously do this, it is not done on purpose. Parents often force their children into a structure they feel is right and safe, and the child can get lost within this structure. Yet, somewhere deep down inside, the child remembers, this is not me. But before the child can realize the full significance of this remembrance, it has to let go of the parental structure in order to liberate itself from it, and during that process, the child will experience deep emotions of alienation, loneliness, and despair. This is in a sense the fate of each human child. Therefore, I ask you to deeply respect the leap into this lifetime that your soul has taken. Your soul was aware of the risk involved, the risk of becoming emotionally lost and estranged from your soul. When you look at a child, you may see an innocent and playful being, but be aware of the deep and often trying journey it is going through. You have been a child yourself, and I ask you to now connect with the child who is still alive within you. I ask you to connect with yourself when you were about 12 years old, and on the verge of becoming a teenager and an independent being. Just let an image of your inner child come to you, and you do not have to remember exactly what was happening at the time. The child you are now feeling and seeing is not new and innocent anymore. It has absorbed its family's emotions and fears, as well as the ambitions within the family. Try to now feel or see how this affected you as that child. Symbolically, you can see it as a kind of pack carried by the child on its back, so feel the energetic weight of this pack. In order to let go of this pack, one of the greatest difficulties experienced by a growing child is that it loves its parents and feels a deep loyalty toward them. Every child wants to be a healer to its parents. Therefore it will tend to carry their burdens for them. Embrace this child and tell it that it can now let go of this burden, this pack. Much of the heavy energy carried by the child is not the child's own energy. The pack is full of fear, anxiety, worry, and negativity springing from the family's energy. The most important thing for this child, and for you, is to realize that it is by letting go of the pack that you become the true teacher and healer for your family or your parents. You are then getting rid of the limiting structures that still have a hold on them, and so you teach them, by example, how to release those structures. To do this, you have to distinguish between false and true loyalty. False loyalty occurs when you act out of guilt, shame, or fear. You have to remember that your family wants to keep you within its circle of influence. There is an unconscious, instinctive need to do so, because your parents need you to be one of them. There is a kind of possessiveness in parenthood, often born from fear, which breeds a false sense of loyalty on the part of the child. You have to break free from this type of loyalty, and when you do, you can then develop a true sense of loyalty with your parents and family from the level of the soul. True loyalty means that you liberate yourself from the limiting structures of your family's mindset. Often these limiting structures go back a few generations, and it takes a lot of courage and clarity of mind to disconnect from those structures. Please note that you do not disconnect from them when you become angry and upset with your family. It is okay to be angry and upset temporarily, but you have to realize that when you are in such an emotional state you are not yet free from the energy of your birth family. You will only be free if you are able to fully embrace yourself as an independent being, and to look at your birth family from the level of the soul. If you lift yourself up to the level of the soul, and see with the eye of compassion, you will let go of anger or fear and you will gain emotional distance from your birth family. Paradoxically, the space that opens up then allows you to love them in a much more detached yet truly loyal way. I would like to impress upon you that loving from the soul is not emotional love. When you reach out from the soul level, you may become aware that there is a distance between you and your birth family that cannot be easily bridged. But you are not bothered by that anymore, and you accept it, because you are truly letting go. You can honor and respect your biological parents, and yet maintain very clear boundaries with regard to them. This is the path that many of you light workers need to take. I invite you to now look at the 12-year-old child within you when it has released the pack. When the pack is gone, how do you as this young person feel? Do you feel relief or a sense of joy? You are coming home to yourself. I invite you, as this 12-year-old child, to see a guide coming toward you. The guide approaching you is older than you are, and it is taking your hand. This guide represents a spiritual parent to you and its energy is very different from the limiting structures of your birth family. Feel how this guide welcomes you. This guide acknowledges the new energy inside you that you want to bring to earth. This guide wants to invite you to express your soul's energy. Feel the energy and the support of this guide, who is a part of your spiritual family, your soul family. This guide is encouraging you to do something specific with your life. What is it right now that wants to be expressed and experienced by you? Your unique soul energy is needed here on earth. Every new generation is meant to bring in a new type of awareness. I want to end by saying a few words about the youngest generation now on earth. You are now seeing a new generation of children who are very much with one foot into the new heart energy on earth. Often, they are born with parents who are conscious and aware, but these parents may still not know how to handle the new energy and sensitivity of these children, who do not fit into the remnants of the old structures. You are the ones who have opened up and torn down the old structures, but the new children are often completely outside these structures, and this creates problems in traditional areas, such as school and work. The most important advice I would like to give to parents in this era is to listen to the souls of your children. You may notice that they behave strangely or are not well adapted in highly structured environments. They often are self-aware and intuitive and know what they want even if they cannot express it in words. Look beyond their odd or bad behavior and connect with them on the level of their souls, where you are equals, and where they may be your teacher instead of your pupil. In their minds and hearts they carry a flame of light, a new type of energy, and they need your help to be able to channel their energy to human society. They need you to help them express and manifest their unique energy on earth in new and flexible ways. The true meaning of parenthood is to preserve from tradition what is good and wise, and at the same time to be fully open to something brand new, so as to be open to the wisdom of your children's souls. They may be spiritually ahead of you. Jeshua. Channeled by Pamela Kribe. www.yeshua.net